Hey guys, welcome to Uncovering the Way. Curtis here,
Marwan.
and today we're talking about a mission trip that Marwan just got back from. I'm going to ask some questions. So, Marwan, tell us about this trip. Why did you go on the trip? What made you want to go?
This is a question I get a lot. So I've been going on mission trips every year with my church for the last 6 or 7 years. And short-term mission trips is close to my heart. It's such a cool thing because you could see an impact in a very short amount of time.
That's awesome. And let us know, what happened on this trip.
Very amazing trip that we had recently that I just got back a few days ago. Obviously, for protection's sake, I cannot mention the location just to protect everybody that's involved. It is somewhere in Asia. That's as far as I could say. But God moved in a space of 14 days. We got to see a lot of amazing miracles and testimonies of just only 14 days, which is not a big amount of time.
Yeah, you mentioned God moving through testimony and miracles. Could you just give us your favorite one of those?
Yeah, for sure. There is so many, and obviously it's hard to cover all of those in this video, but I'll just shoot out a few of my favorite ones and the team's favorite ones. The first one that comes to mind is there's this man that the team met on one of the beaches in this country, and he was of a different faith, and they were just sharing love of God, which is the good news. And they were just drawing out on the sand that, God came down to pay for man's sin through sacrifice, dying on the cross. And later they found out that this guy had gum disease or gum pain for a year. And before he was talking to them, he was in the pharmacy trying to get medicine for it. And later they found out that he was even reluctant to talk to them. He was thinking just to be like, no, thank you. Sorry, I can't talk to you guys. But he didn't want to be rude, so he listened to them. And as they're sharing the good news on the sand, he said that his gum pain just disappeared. They didn't even pray for him, lay hands on him. His pain just disappeared after a year of gum and teeth pain while hearing the good news of Jesus. And because it was different faith and it's not customary for them to be interested or talk about the Christian faith because that's not allowed. But you guys don't understand. My pain is gone. And they're like, hey, this is not us. We don't have any magic tricks. This is God. God intervened and God healed you. And he's like, I want to know more about the good news. I want you to tell me more about Jesus. And obviously, because of limited time, they end up meeting with him another day for lunch. And he's like, I want to put my hope and faith in Jesus. And that's not the background he grew up with. In this country, it's not a common thing. But when God reaches man's heart, a miracle. There's two miracles from the story. One is a miracle that he was healed, but a miracle that he wants to know more about Jesus and accept him, which is unconventional, to say the
Totally.
least.
And I think it'd be safe to assume that he's taking a big, risky move in making this transition from maybe one faith to another.
Yeah, I'm sure that his family is going to reject him, and he's going to face a lot of consequences because of this. And this is worldwide; it can happen in any country in the U.S. or all over the world. When you decide to believe in Jesus, you're going to face the consequences. It's not. I think a lot of times Christianity is painted as this rainbow or this honey or a pot of gold. Your life is just going to be perfect. No, Jesus said in the Bible that there is trouble. There's going to be trouble when you believe in this. Jesus said, if they rejected me, they're going to reject you.
Yep, exactly. What do you think in his mind? What do you think made it clear that his healing was from your God versus his God?
Yeah, I think the unique thing about this story that happened is they were sharing the good news or the gospel about Jesus and about how Jesus came down to pay for our sins. And if we believe in him, it pays for the sacrifice and we can be perfectly made righteous with God.
That's great. And what do you feel like that's a great encounter? And I know there are more of those. You could probably go on and tell more stories. out of all the things that happened, what do you think God taught you the most, or what message did God teach you while you were there?
Very good question. I would say to summarize it is God is real. God still does miracles. And I would say one thing that I've noticed, as I mentioned earlier in the video, 6 or 7 mission trips of every year going on a trip, God is consistent. You would think like, oh, we had a good trip 3, 4 years ago, but maybe this is a different country, different language. It won't happen. But sure enough, God shows up and there's miracles, there's healings, there's people believing in Jesus again and again and again, year after year. And it's just mind blowing. I cannot explain to you in human words.
Yeah, and I I'm sure there's some people that have done mission trips before, but you've gone consistently, and it sounds like you're seeing God move year after year because it's every year. It seems like that you're gone around the same time, maybe a little bit different, but you're saying that you're seeing consistently God move this country here, this country there, this trip there.
Yeah. And different continents, Europe, Africa, Asia, different cultures, right? With those Eastern culture, Western culture, uh, God moves despite of people.
Yeah, I guess so. You're very well experienced in going on mission trips. I'd say I'm not. Maybe give me a couple of reasons, like why should I go on a mission trip? Like what am I going to learn, or how am I going to be humbled, or what is God going to teach me? What should I expect?
Yeah, that's the question I get a lot is why mission trips, right? Like you could reach people in your own country down the street from you, right? Where we're shooting this video, there's people down the street who probably needs the love of Jesus, who are probably feeling lonely, feeling at the end of the rope. Mission trips, I think a lot of people go like, I want to change the world. I would say number one is mission trip changes us. When you go on a mission trip, and again, I can't say the country, but where I went in a poor village where people were living in a 7 by 7 tinted houses with like tinfoil houses that barely have enough food from their plantation that they sell. It really gives you a perspective. We are blessed here in America. We may not be rich according to American standards, but around the world, we're very rich. We're considered super wealthy. And that really gives the picture. Like what people go through, it really humbles us. Yeah. And I think when you go on a mission trip, you learn humility because I think here we can get stuck about going from one person to one person and comparing ourselves. Okay, this person drives a better car than me. This person has a house on the beach and I live more east, or whatever the reason is. And I think mission trips opens your lenses to see people differently and to really learn about yourself before you go and change the world.
That's great. And so I guess for someone that feels encouraged and wants to go on a mission trip, let's say they're not plugged into community, they're not plugged into church, like where do they go to find a way to be a part of that?
Also a very good question. Here's my personal belief on this. There are no Rambos in the Christian faith. I think a lot of times people are like, well, I don't need a church. I don't need a community. I can read the Bible and believe in God. Sure. Can you be saved and have a relationship with God without the church? Absolutely. I don't think that's up for debate. But you see throughout the Bible, there's communities, right? The apostles in the New Testament, they met together daily, and God added to their numbers, right? Those to be saved. They broke bread and shared meals together. So it seems to me that in the book of Acts and all letters with Timothy and Paul and Peter and John, community is highlighted. It never said that Paul received Jesus and Paul went on a journey on his own and just did the solo thing, right? Paul always had people. Barnabas, he had Timothy, he had Luke in prison, right? With him, taking care of him when he was sick. So I would say to answer your question, you want to be part of a community, you want to be part of a church, and there's a lot of great churches in San Diego that you could be part of, or obviously I live in San Diego, but if you're anywhere in the US watching this, or even around the world, there are a lot of churches, there's a lot of mission trips, short term, and there's long term that you can be part of, and also organizations, which there's so many organizations you can be part of.
Yeah, and I'm sure from your experience, it's good to go with someone who's done it before, right? Like, I probably would have no idea what I'm doing going into it, but if I'm gonna go with you, I would feel much more comfortable and like I feel safe. I feel like I know what to expect. I could lean on you for, what to do, maybe tips on how to do that. So is there anything else you want to add of just like talking or sharing about your trip?
Yeah, I agree with that statement because if you go with an organization or a church, there's a structure, maybe there's connections, right? Because if you go by yourself, well, let's say you just, I don't know, grab your close friend or your neighbor and just let's go to, I don't know, London, do a mission trip, for example. You're not going to know where to go. You're not going to have connections. Could you do something? Yes. Is it going to be more fruitful with like the trips I've gone? We have churches, we have organizations that we're part of that kind of links us and kind of gives us the outline. So when you're there for 2 weeks, you want to be fruitful. And if you want to be 20% fruitful or 80%, I think everybody watching this would say, if I'm going to go for 2 weeks, I want to be 80 or 90% fruitful versus 20%. So that is very important.
That's great. Anything else you want to add just to wrap it up?
Yeah, I would say in conclusion, I encourage anybody watching this, go on a short-term mission trip. If you're skeptical, then, just be skeptical, but go and see if it changes you. Because I think ultimately it'll change your heart to see the world more as Jesus sees the world, and also to be part of a team. And I think the friendships that you make, if you go with the right team, are going to last a lifetime. So there's so much things. Yes, maybe you have to raise some support. Maybe you have to take time off work. Maybe you have to like get jet lag and have a lot of hours of traveling. But in conclusion, I'd say, guys, doing this, I'm no expert, I'm no pro, but all I can say from my experience is it's worth it. So go when you get the chance.
That's great, Marwan. Yeah, guys. So if that's something that interests you, go find a church, find a group that goes on mission trips. Just go for it. Go forth and do the good work and spread the good news. Marwan, thank you for sharing all this information from your trip. It sounds like it was an amazing trip, and I can't wait to hear more about it personally when we talk about it. But thanks again, guys, for tuning in. I'm Curtis.
Marwan, pleasure.
Make sure to like this video and subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.